90 out of 100 startups fail. Out of 1,000 startups, couple of them become unicorn. So what is the breakthrough here? What is the secret sauce of building a unicorn? If there is. Well, my name is Amit Agarwal. I am the co-founder and CEO of NoBroker. NoBroker has 3,000 employees. We have 1,000 crore plus of yearly revenue. And yes, we are a unicorn. We have more than $1 billion of valuation, 8,000 crore rupees of valuation. My objective today is to talk about my journey and what are the learnings that can basically help you break through in your startup journey. Well, many people ask me whether having a business background helps or is it mandatory. My answer is no, it is not. For example, I am a first generation entrepreneur. I was born in a small city in Goda in UP. My father was a civil servant, my mother was a housemaker, and we kept on shifting to smaller cities within UP. And all around what I could see was middle class focusing on studies, trying to get into a good government job which can give good income and stability. That's all that all my colleagues were basically fighting for. So when with this background, thankfully I was good in studies, my parents focused on studies, and I was able to crack engineering. I went to IIT Kanpur, did my MBA from Ahmedabad, and life was going on. And like everybody else, I tried to get a good job. I got into management consulting, spent 10 years there, earned better and better salary, and then moved to IT in a foreign bank. So everything was going smoothly, earning more salary, cruising along. Then I happened to make a change and give an interview in a startup. And the person who was interviewing me, he was my junior from my college, and he was the CEO of that startup. And the discussion happened, and I was selected. But when I came out of the room, one thing which basically attracted my attention was that in the room there was a poster which had a quote from Mark Zuckerberg. And the quote said, "Not taking risk is the biggest risk in life." And that quote resonated with me. And if you think about it, it's a very strong message. The message is that risk of omission is far, far greater than the risk of commission. You don't realize the things that you miss doing and what great impact they could have made, what big breakthrough they could have created in your life. So when I came back, I started thinking whether I should do something of my own. And it was a horrible time to do a startup. I was already in my mid-30s. My wife was pregnant. We were waiting for a second child. I had taken, like every other person who is aspiring for a better life, I have taken a home loan, a car loan, and so on and so forth. My wife wanted to take a sabbatical after having a kid, but she couldn't if I had to do my startup. But then when we discussed, both of us realized that there is never going to be a perfect time to start something of your own. So you have to start, just start. So there I was, I left my job. Now comes the first secret sauce or the first ingredient of the secret sauce, which is idea. So how do you come up with the idea? Well, me and my co-founders who were my batchmates from my college, we started thinking as to what are the problems that we have faced personally. And we realized that real estate brokerage was something which we hated paying, and why shouldn't there be a platform which connects property owners with property buyers and tenants directly? The core principle is that the idea came from our personal experience. And I have met many founders since then, and I have realized that many good ideas come from your own problems that you have faced, because then it gives you great amount of conviction. And when things basically get tough, you have that conviction because you yourself has been a potential customer of your product. Well, the tricky portion is that how do you check whether this idea is good? So we spoke to the investors, we spoke to many friends. Some of the friends are polite and hence they will not tell you that the idea is bad. Some friends are very harsh. So the mixed reviews came and we couldn't decide. Well, my answer is let the customer decide. Customer is the final decision maker. So we went to complete strangers. We went to mall, we went to restaurants, met complete strangers, asked them, if there was such a product, will you pay for it? Will you want it? Are you looking for it? Only when these customers said yes, then only we thought, let's go ahead and try to figure out more about this. But I must tell you that no matter how good it sounds, finally after a point, the data stops. And then basically begins the irrational optimism. The problem is that if you are doing a startup, you are going to do something which is very unique. Either it has never been done in the world, or it has never been done in your country or in your city, or the way in which you are trying to do that startup idea has a twist, and nobody has ever done that twist before. So after a point of time, you need to have this irrational optimism, irrational belief that this is going to work. My gut says it, customer says it, and I'm going to pursue it. Well, so I left my job and he started pursuing it. And I must tell you that it's very funny that when you leave your job, a lot of people call you. All your friends will call you. They will tell you as to how happy they are to hear this and how they wish they had the courage to also leave their job and do something like this. But after a few days, those calls will stop because they will get busy in their own lives. And there you are sitting in your home, on your bed, with your legs crossed, a computer in front of you, with 5 customers on your platform, and you are wondering, had I gone to office today, I would have made so much money. But this is how the life of entrepreneur is. So we cruised on, we carried on, we kept on pushing, and then we started meeting investors. We met lots of investors. And my key learning from meeting investors is that you need to focus on 5 key things. First is the problem. What is the unique problem that you are trying to solve? Second is, how are you trying to solve it? What is your solution? How is it different from all the existing solutions? Third is the market size. How big can this product be? How big revenue can be if you capture a large market? Fourth, what is the traction? Whatever you have done with whatever amount you had, how many consumers, how much revenue you have been able to garner? Fifth, what is the background of the entrepreneurs or the co-founders who are there? Out of these 5 things, I think what people generally focus too much on is the business idea. And what they often miss is the market size. Especially if you are trying to go for a VC funding business. It's extremely important to think very deeply about the market size. Is the market big enough? Big enough for you to make money, for the VC to make money, to create a very large output. And this is something which I have seen many of my fellow entrepreneurs get on. Well, with these learnings equipped, we met lots of investors. Whatever we were trying to do was something very unique. It was never done anywhere else in the world. And hence investors found it very easy. They said, US hasn't done it, China hasn't done it. So how can you do it in India? So I think we must have met 19 investors. All of them said no. And it's very, very humbling. All your IIT, IIM degree, they don't mean anything. And it's very, very humbling, humiliating to hear no after no after no. But you know what? You basically only need one yes. No matter how many people say no, so only one person who should believe in you. And that's enough. So when our 20th attempt paid off, our 20th person whom we met, he invested in us and he got. End of story. Very happy. You have got money. This is what you were fighting for. No, the journey has barely started. And what we discovered over the next 9 years was that this is like a video game in which you cross level 1, you are very happy. But the level 2 is of a different style, there's a different problem. Again you need to cross it, then again level 3. And hence over the next 9 years till now, we have been crossing different levels, trying to reinvent ourselves. So what has been our learnings over the past 9 years? I think I would like to summarize all those learnings in 5 key functional buckets. The first one is finance or monetization. Be extremely careful about money. No matter who has funded you, how much money you have in the account. Be very, very careful because a lot of success in the startup is just about surviving. Be like a cockroach. Just survive. If you survive long enough, customers will see what you're trying to do, investors will come along, you will figure out what are the things in your approach and you are going to sail through. But surviving long enough is super, super important. So despite having crores of rupees in the account, when we 3 co-founders used to travel, and all of 3 of us were in our mid-30s, adults, instead of taking 3 rooms, we'll take a single room and put 1 extra bed. And that's how we managed. We made sure that we don't take AC, but put water cooler in our office. Somehow manage and respect every money. We started monetization much before than what typical startups do. Second is about marketing. Similarly in marketing, be cautious about what is the ROI, what is the return on investment of the money that you are spending. We have seen many people quickly going towards ATL. ATL is above the line marketing in terms of IPL, in terms of TV, in terms of billboards. But what works really good for a young startup is BTL, below the line marketing. Figure out, can you distribute pamphlets? Can you do no parking boards? Can you put auto branding behind a three-wheeler? Whatever you can do which gives you a high return on investment, try to do that. And don't try to expand into too many cities, too many geographies, because that is going to eat up your capital. And competition might do it, but don't copy. Which basically brings me to the third element of our learning, which is regarding competition. So in competition, it's very difficult not to be enticed by what they are doing. And let me be frank, you need to be a little bit paranoid about what competition is doing. Be careful about what competition is doing. But it gets tricky that you should, being careful and being observant, should not be confused with getting obsessed. If you start getting obsessed with what competition is doing, there's a risk that you will subconsciously start copying them. And that is going to be very bad, because then what's the difference? And you will copy their mistakes. So I think one thing which worked for us was not copying competition, not expanding too fast, focusing on one city, cracking it, and then only moving to the other city. The fourth portion is around team. Now, team is a thing which is much trickier, and I will tell you why. When you start your startup, you do everything. You are the call center, you are the technology team, you one single person, one co-founder is the whole department. And once your startup slowly grows, then you are the one who basically takes out the garbage from the office, puts it out. You are the one who types offer letter, you are the one who pays the rent, and you do everything. But now as years pass by, you need to stop this control, stop this micromanagement, because now this will not work. Whatever worked in the stage one is not going to work in the stage two. Now you need to delegate to your team. Now is the time to basically trust the team, be okay with their mistakes, have a huge amount of transparency. I am amazed at how many town halls are really required, and as to how many anonymous questions I have invited, and still they are always insufficient. So allow your team to ask you questions, allow your team to do mistakes, delegate. As soon as you do it, the bigger your company will become. Fifth and the most important one is customer. Yeah, I know everybody talks about customer, how customer is important. All that is fine. But in customer, the difficult portion is that as a co-founder, you start feeling that you now know the customer. Because you are the one who started with the company, you are the one who spoke to the customers initially, you are the one who replied to the customer emails. So you think you have understood customer. It has been a couple of years, you know their problem, and there you are. But this is a trap. Customers keep on changing. As Jeff Bezos famously says, customers are wonderfully, beautifully, always dissatisfied. So whatever customer wanted 2 years back, 1 year back, now they want more. Unless you are in touch with your customer, unless you talk to your customers daily, BT, unless you make physical visit to your customers, you are going to lose the touch with the customer. And then what is going to happen to you is the same what you did with others, with the players who were before you. So be very, very focused upon customer, upon their changing needs. So these are I believe that these core concepts, if you and your team uses, then magic will happen. I think that these core concepts, once they are mixed with two more things, one is irrational optimism, which I spoke about, and second is perseverance. Perseverance of keep on going, perseverance of keep on believing in your idea, keep on pushing that envelope. Once you do this, then seemingly impossible task becomes possible. And I must tell you with full frankness that being a successful entrepreneur is the best job in the world. It has been 9 years since we have been doing this, and I know that we need to go much, much ahead. But I tap dance to work. I love Monday morning. I love going to work. I love interacting with the team, because there is no favoritism, there is no politics. I just need to do more experimentation. I can do whatever I want, and customer is the final decision maker. So my concluding message would be that if you have a startup bug, if you want to do something of your own, come out of the comfort zone. Take risk. This monthly salary is nothing but a trap, and you need to come out of this comfort. Take some risk, because the risk of omission is far, far greater. And I hope that next time when I come to a session like this, equipped with these learnings, not 10, but many, many more startups will be successful out of 100 which are launched. And many more unicorns will come into existence. And many of those unicorns will come from you. Thank you.